Hey, good morning, Team Impact. It's Monday, Monday, March 18th. Jeez, we're halfway through March and we're rolling along here. I'm going to talk about a thing called variability. When we talk about statistical data, we have to talk about variability, spread of the data, all right? There's going to be a new term out there called the range. So we have the median and we have the mean so far. This is another piece of the measures of center called the range. All right. And we'll probably warm up to the median and the mean this morning, along with statistical questions. Hey, let's get into this thing. A measure of variability is a way of describing how spread out the data is. It can also be described on how much the data deviates. Deviates, deviates from the center. How far it is away, essentially, right? The range is a measure of variability that describes the spread in data. It can be found by one, determining least and greatest values, not organizing least to greatest, but the smallest and the biggest, and then subtracting the two values to determine the range in the data. Okay, so finding the range is very easy. Okay, if you have a calculator, I would get it ready and let's get into it. All right, all right. So we're looking for the biggest number, 396. It looks like is the biggest, and I'm going to subtract the smallest, which is 241, and I'm not even going to use a calculator, and I'm going to get 155 for the range. So that means from the biggest number to the smallest number, there's 155 novels. We're at the grocery store. What is the range of the cost of our family groceries? The biggest number here is 176.97. The smallest number is 57.06. Let's subtract. 16 minus 7 is 9. 1, 1. And our answer is $119.91. And you'll notice that I did label this because it is money. Go ahead and find the range on 3 and 4 on your own. Pause the video. Range 246 minus 62, big and small. 4, 8, 1, 184. Big number over here, 189, looks like. You got to double check those though, right? Small number is 19. Subtract. Oops, that should be a 1. So we get 170. Very easy. Measure variability range. Now, we're going to go into the thing called the interquartile range, or IQR. So this gets a little bit more involved. Okay, so this is going to take us some time. The interquartile range, the IQR, is a measure of variability that splits the data into 4 equal sized quartiles. Quartiles, quarters, right? It represents the middle 50% of the data. Okay, this can be confusing. So we'll probably spend a couple days on this. First thing we're going to do is organize the data from least to greatest. We're going to find the median. Okay, the middle number, right? The median is the middle. Okay. Then we're going to find the median of the lower and upper quartiles. All right. So we're going to split the top side into a fourth and the lower side. And then we're going to subtract to find the IQR. That means nothing to you except for probably least, the greatest, and median, right? So this takes some time. And really, there's a million ways to make a mistake in this. So, measures of variability, here we go. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is flip the page and we're going to take a look at this. It says the data shows the data set below represents the different costs of cameras at an electronics store. All right, so let's get organized from least to greatest, smallest number. We're going to take our time here. 28, and I like to draw lines in between it. 36, 44, 59, 66, 71, and 108. Now, you'll notice that I crossed those out because I don't want to make a mistake. Okay? Okay. So we can go down through these questions and just kind of answer them, and then I'll explain as we go what we're going to get into here because there's a lot going on here. Okay? Excuse me, I grab a drink of coffee. What is the minimum price? Well, the minimum here is certainly $28, right? What is the maximum? The maximum is $108. Okay, now we're going to slow down and find the median. The median is middle. So we're coming here, here, here. So here is the median, right? And you're going to notice that I put an arrow there. So I don't forget that, but I'm going to write it down and write $59, okay? Now, this is the new part, okay? We're going to find the median of the first half of data. The first quartile is what we call that. So to find the median, I don't use the true median, to find the first quartile, I don't use the median. I come over to the left and I come to here. All I'm doing is finding the median of the first half. And the median of the first half is the middle number of these three numbers, which is $36. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the top half or the second half. All right, we call that the third quartile. First quartile, second quartile, and our third quartile is going to be $71. So all I've done is find the median, the middle. I found the median of the bottom, and I found the median of the top. Now, to find the IQR, and I'm talking about inner quartile range, right? To find that IQR, what I'm going to do is take the third quartile and subtract the first from it. So I'm going to get 71 minus 36. Okay. And I'm going to end up with $35. Okay. So let's recap what we've done again. So far, we found the median. We found the median of the bottom half. We found the median of the top half. I listed all of this information. This is our first quartile. The median, the true median, is our second quartile. Our third quartile is $71. The IQR here is 71 minus 36, and we get 35. So what in the world does this tell you? Is the IQR relatively small or large? And what does this tell you about the spread of the data? Okay, well, what it tells you. So the IQR is $35, which means that the middle 50% of the data is within $35. So let's talk about that. So the middle 50% of the data is within $35. Okay? So think about that. From here to here, the spread is 35. That's what they're talking about. So when this number's small, we have a nice cluster of data. Okay, so that's just an average set of data, right? So we have the inner quartile range. If I wanted to find the range, I would take the big minus the small. Okay. Okay, so what I would tell you to do is pause the video and try number 6 on your own. Okay, and get the IQR down there and go through all of it. Okay. All right, if you're doing it with me, let's get into it. Smallest to biggest, 75. Looks like 80's next. Looks like we have a couple 90's. Then I have a 100. I have a couple 110s. Oh, I missed one. I missed a 105. So I'm going to take that 1010 and put it there and my 105 there. Oops, let me rewrite that so it's legible. Okay. And I have a 115. And what I'm going to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I recommend doing that sometimes because you can make a mistake by doing all this and it's a problem. First up, smallest score, the minimum score is 75. The maximum score is 115. The middle score. So let's find the middle number. And clearly it's 100. And again, I like to put arrows there. Okay. So the median of the first half, the first quartile, the median. So I don't use the median. I come to the left, to 90 and 75. And look, I have two numbers. So we're going to add those two up and we're going to divide it by 2. So 80 plus 70 or plus 90 is 170, right? And if we divide that by 2, okay, we're going to get 85. So 85 is my first quartile. That happens when you have an even set of numbers, meaning there's 4 there. 4 is an even number, and that's going to happen on the top as well. So we're going to have to do the same thing. Again, don't use that median. Come to the right of it here now. But look, those are both the same number, so I don't need to do any math because these two added together is 220. Divided by 2 is 110, right? So no problem. Okay. So the interquartile range, the IQR, is 110 minus 85. I had 110 here, and I'm subtracting the average of those two, which is 85. And I'm going to end up getting 25. Okay. What again does that IQR tell you? Well, it tells you that 50% of the data is spread out by 25 points. 50% of the data. And again, 50% meaning from here to here is half the data right there. 50% of the, let me get a little more data, is, all right, spread by 25 points. So, good lesson. We found the range early, found the range, and then we went to the inner quartile range, okay? Your homework tonight is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to jump into that next page, and you're going to go from there, right? So make sure that you show your work because I'm going to be looking at it very closely. So please show it because that's the correct way to do it. Okay, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you when I see you.